Let's check out how it's going down here.
Alright, what timestamp are you at? I got in.
4:56.
Cool, we are on the same time here.
You
Keep
did
going.
miss an amazing top fight. Alright, we do have Lulu. Knows they're in that bush. There was Ezreal going in. Ezreal leading the charge, getting caught by Nevermore. They're going to just go ahead and go for the quest point that is up at the windmill.
Cutting in the middle there, they forced them back down away from that point, and now they're swinging up to the top there. Good ult there by Zyra to keep them away from that. Garrison saves that tower. They were just in range for it. Totalment taking the brunt of the damage there at the beginning of that fight. Painkillar trying to get out, drops his silence as his mana shield comes up to escape. Everyone getting extremely low. Buwberry is going to be able to clean this up. He doesn't really have any mana left. He's going to have to back out away from there. Picking up that health relic, which does give him a little bit extra mana at the same time. Puts the bird down on Alistar, but that healing didn't quite matter in the end. The Swain still does have an auto attack. This Garrison down on that tower. And, BuddhaRice jumps away from him. There's a bunch of minions coming in, though. Buddha might be able to take this tower if he can just keep it delayed for a little while. Now, Swain's going to clear everything off with the ultimate there, and a never move. Buddha's still hanging around up here just buying some time. Wants to make sure Buwberry can't make a play for it.
He did get a huge mana boost from all those minions he killed, however. Getting enough mana back he needs. Didn't matter in the end, though. He did get bursted down.
We're seeing a little bit of back and forth clicking here. Both teams want to keep the other one interrupted before they get a chance to actually go anywhere with that. Spawnlegacy throwing down the plant. Plant getting taken out really quick. Not quite as durable as Heimer's turrets, unfortunately. Though Spawnlegacy does bring that airborne to the table, which is an AoE effect. Or it's not an airborne, it's a root, excuse me. That has been used here in this fight. Trying to get a little bit more cap in, not able to do so yet. Neutral towers are very tense things because neither team wants to really commit without that defender's advantage. Misses with the grab. Painkillar does. BuddhaRice coming up from the bottom. They see an opportunity to make a play, and they go for it. Painkillar backing on out of the fight just a little bit there, waiting for his cooldowns to refresh. Panzerzs going to go down. And got that Lulu ult goes off on Painkillar there. Throws down the static field. And it looks like CaptnBuwberry is going to be the next one to fall. Everyone really, really low on health. Again, Painkillar lands a grab and an airborne there. inFe misses narrowly with the glitter lance, but then is able to pick up that kill eventually.
Field of Revive, however, did get the quest point.
Yes, they were able to secure that up top. Oh, do you have KDR on, by the way?
KDR.
Down on the bottom by the items and stuff like that. There should be a button.
There we go.
There you go. And BuddhaRice
disconnect.
Gonna see a pause right here. Thankfully, we have that pause function. Gonna take a look at the map real quick while things are paused. Right now, Lee Sin kind of leading the charge up towards the top of the map. I think that he should be able to delay for long enough that he's not going to lose that tower before his teammates can arrive. So I think that if they have a good follow-up, you know, they should be able to hold the windmill. But the way it's looking right now, it's going to be Lee Sin 1v3 for a
There is Zyra, though, does have her Garrison still active.
Yes, so even if she does come up just behind, she can throw that down.
And Blitzcrank has his as well, so he will be able to counter Garrison. But it should be enough to stop them from capping, however.
Mm-hmm.
Ezreal should have his ultimate up in the neck of that fight. But Lee Sin's and Zyra's and Alistar's will both be down. Take a little bit look at this item looks what we can. Alistar is already completed his Aegis and does have his Glacial, as well as Cassiopeia. See, we are seeing the Ionian boots and the Athene's Unholy Grail on Zyra right over here.
I think that's an extremely good combination with her. The ability to just kind of keep those snares rolling. You know, she has 2 AoE abilities, and those are just so useful to have. Being able to keep her mana up with the Athenes is really useful.
And we can see right here, well, she already has 37% already.
Yeah, that's a monstrous amount of CDR right there. Looking at everyone else, everything else doesn't look too out of the ordinary. We're seeing some Glacial Shrouds, we're seeing some Brutalizers. We're seeing Alistar having not yet completed his boots yet. Kind of just opting to get the defensive items because Alistar is just kind of a wrecking ball. You know, he's not known for his speed. He's going to get there eventually. And when he does, you have to deal with him. So I think that's a pretty safe play, trying to get those team defensive items out a little bit quicker there. Seeing a lot of Glacial Shrouds, 1, 2, 3, 4 Glacial Shrouds. Seeing a lot of Brutalizers, 1, 2, 3, 4 Brutalizers as well. People like to favor that CDR, and with armor being so prevalent, with Glacial Shrouds, Frozen Hearts being built a lot in this game type, you really need that extra pen from Brutalizer in order to really be getting any damage going.
Yeah, on the stream, question about what exactly happens when a defensive and offensive go off. It is true that if they have the improved Garrison, it will still continue regenerating as well as AoE targeting, but the offensive Garrison reduces the regeneration rate and the damage it does, so they both actually apply at the same time.
Yeah, it's really interesting that they thought of that as opposed to simply having one counter the other, because if one countered the other, it would just be weird back and forth Garrison checkers spam. And you really don't want that.
But when you do use Garrison on the defense, it's anyone capping immediately will stop capping.
Yes, it is an immediate interrupt. And it looks like Blitzcrank's going for the Fight Blitzcrank, which is a Blitzcrank build that I favor a lot, and even bought Blitzcrank just to use it. He's going for looking like a Manamune there.
Let's take a look at Blitzcrank's passive to get the numbers. It gives him, when he falls to a 27, he gets 50% of his current mana. He currently has 1600 mana, so assuming he has full mana, that's an 800 damage shield that he gets.
Yes, and that tier will keep stacking up throughout the game. He's going to go into a Frozen Heart as well. You see that Glacial Shroud right there, kind of telegraphing that a little bit. Now, from there, you can go a couple of different ways with him at that point. You can go for Sheen into Triforce. You can go from like Brutalizer into Ghostblade if you want to do like a serious like fight Blitzcrank, or you can go for a little bit more of a supporting role, and you can get something like a Zeke's or an Aegis or something like that. But I think he's gonna be going fight mode.
It is definitely my favorite Blitz, and we have Cassiopeia down here, still keeping that Catalyst. It is going for the Hextech Revolver for that Spell Vamp, and of course the Glacial Shroud as Urgot is going up against Urgot bottom.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Urgot going for that Sheen after the Brutalizer.
We're going to want that extra armor for sure down there. But I don't know if she's going to actually, like, what is she going to go for? Is she going to go for an Odin's, or is she going to go for a Rod of Ages, or is she just going to hold on to the Catalyst and just use the fact that, hey, this gives me hit points, this gives me mana, this is a good item to have, and I'm just going to let this kind of help me out early game and rely on other things for my late game.
Now let's have down here, I do have we got the gold tab. So far, Lulu has 4,043 gold. Swain has had 4,253. Blitzcrank, 4,046, keep that up with Lulu. We do have Urgot having 5,517. We do have Nocturne with 4,502. On the other side, we do have Zyra with 4,373, Lee Sin with 4,002, Ezreal 4,262. We do have Alistar with 4,299, and we do have Cassiopeia with 5,307.
Now, the important thing to note, looking at those gold values, is the blatantly apparent disparity for bottom lane. Bottom laners get so much more money because they have access to creeps, like regular access to creeps. Now, yes, you do have access to creeps up top, but you have to share them with your other couple of guys. Down bottom, you can just get all of them. And creep gold is one of the more underrated things in this game mode, I think, because if you're in a fight at Windmill and you have to back off waiting for your cooldowns to refresh, let's say you're playing like Ezreal or Brand or someone who has a lot of like powerful ranged cooldowns, you walk back off, and if you see a minion that's slow, just pick off that minion real quick out of the wave, you know? Use those auto attacks.
Give the extra 20 gold. And we got the game coming back.
See how this Windmill fight plays out, if it's going to go as predicted or not. Looks like Totalment's going to opt to take that Storm Shield first.
And Swain going in too. Nocturne's going ahead and going to top.
Not going straight for top. Gonna have to go up there and intercept, but BuddhaRice
there's the Ezreal ult, stopping it.
gets that long distance interrupt right there. That's one of the most awesome things about Ezreal, I think, is his ability to pull that off. Ashe and Gangplank can do it to a little bit of a lesser extent.
Oh, there's the pull by Blitzcrank. Knocking up, and there goes Zyra coming up. Is she gonna Garrison? There's the offensive Garrison right there. No defensive Garrison yet.
Looks like she was just counting on being disrupted by herself, and just like I was talking about, Alistar, you just kind of have to deal with him. He's just gonna be there. Lee Sin did delay until his teammates get there, but he died a little bit faster than I expected him to, and now it's Armor alone against all of them. He's gonna look for getting a kill here, but no, kill denied by inFe.
And they will get the point.
It was a very handy victory up there, and that's just what I was talking about before this game started, is that with Lulu on your team, on the enemy team, their hit points are a lie.
There's Urgot pulled in Cassiopeia and went ahead and exhausted her to get that kill. Will shield keep him alive from that poison.
Just narrowly gets out of there. The Painkillar survival method, having 2-digit hit points and still living to tell the tale. You can see Feel the Vibe grouping up in the V bushes over here, coming down. They don't want Panzerzs to get a hold of that.
Great spell shield by Panzer. Keep getting that resonating strike off him.
Very good by that. Very good use of the spell shield. Kept Lee Sin from being able to go in on that. Armor going in with a knockback there, but then having to retreat.
Missing his pulverize. Oh, pulling Zyra in there. Lee Sin trying to protect her, not able to do it.
It's a sick grab by Blitzcrank right there. And Noct going for the kill with his ultimate there. He absolutely wanted to take Ezreal out with a vengeance. And Armor's just kind of leading the charge away. Kind of kiting him around. No one's splitting off to capture that drill.
Oh.
Painkillar going to recall. They're going to take Armor down.
Armor using his ult, but not enough to save him.
If they split off one person to the drill, they might have been able to get a little bit more out of that play than they did. But instead they opted to play it safe, make sure they got Alistar down. Painkillar wanted to make sure he was able to recall. inFe's got to deal with a few creeps up here.
There's one thing, if you do have 3 points, unless you're sure you can get that 4th point safely, you might as well just keep those 3.
No need to extend yourself further than is safe. They didn't feel good about it, so they didn't do it. Good play by them, but they're descending on the bottom point right now. Konfetarius getting taken out. 3-person gank down bottom. Spawnlegacy going to go for the cap. Totalment looking a little worse for wear on the hit points. Yeah, he's going to recall there. He was going to shield a minion first, and then dash on out of the way.
Yep.
Painkillar's going for it.
Cassiopeia
Once that airborne gets it on Cassiopeia, and Totalment almost gets caught by Panzerzs. That's very spooky scary right there. Hiding from the darkness. In the darkness, Totalment's going to drop that recall and get on out of there. But up at the top of the map, however, CaptnBuwberry defending 1v2 against BuddhaRice and Armor is able to kill BuddhaRice, but he's left his ult on for quite a long time. He's going to run out of mana pretty shortly here, but Panzerzs is able to come up and give him that government bailout that he needs to defend that point.
So right there, we do see the revives are all back up right now. Alistar popping his immediately.
And coming right back in for a headbutt on Painkillar, sending him into the wall right there. Zyra from behind trying to get some damage in on him, but he's running away. He's advancing in a very strange direction. He's heading down towards the bottom point. I think he's just going for the Alistar kite there. There's a lot of attention down bottom for Pex right now, and there's a lot of attention up top for Feel the Vibe. Is Pex going to swing top and try and defend it, or are they going to let Feel the Vibe make the play?
I believe he was trying to, get them to bait and chasing him so they wouldn't go for the windmill, but they didn't fall for it. We do have Nocturne, though, immediately taking out that Lee Sin.
Panzerzs picking up the godlike with his Nocturne there. BuddhaRice with a little bit of a messy arcane shift right there, getting the airborne from Painkillar. You gotta watch out for that uppercut. Lulu ult goes down, and they're just completely ignoring Alistar. Just go around him. Don't have to worry about him that much. Kill the people that matter. Go back for Ali later. You can see that right there. A lot of people on Ali. Blitz breaks off to kind of zone Lee Sin out. He knows that Alistar is taken care of already. He gets that uppercut off on him. But BuddhaRice is over here now, throwing that extra damage in. Painkillar's retreating as quickly as he can, but he's going to get caught over there by Spawnlegacy. inFe sees this, and he's going to back out of it.
So I found clicking your middle mouse button on the mini-map Make it go slow.
Red team's nexus is
But we do have, so far we've had an amazing game up here. The point spread, 13 minutes in, not only 150 point difference about.
The deficit is not quite too large. It's not to the point where it's insurmountable by any means. We've seen a lot of games end with a lot different. There's a dive right there.
And there, if Zyra gets you in her root, she can really put some burst on you. And there's going to be the knock-up right there. Won't be enough to save Ezreal. Ezreal is trying his best to kite it as best he can. Lulu popping the ult on herself, giving her some HP back, but is getting caught by Zyra's grab. And there's that root from her.
Run back there. He's got a lot of mana. He tries to use to interrupt Spawnlegacy, but Blitzcrank pulls her to safety. Although Panzerzs is up there to zone Ali away from that point still. Ali and Blitzcrank are getting into a little bit of a fist fight over here. There's still that Zyra plant. It's going to take care of that really in short order. Buwberry going for the Storm Shield now. Is anyone going to interrupt it?
Answer question Ultra, yes, we do shoutcast the 3rd and 4th place match.
We do.
We do?
No.
We always do?
When it went to best of 3 finals, we started doing the just the finals. So Constellation doesn't get broadcast anymore.
Oh.
Because they're both best of 3s, and if we did both of them, it'd take hours. But yeah, we're gonna do this. We'll go into finals after this.
Well, then you can call me wrong. It's okay.
Ping's going down in the middle of the map. Alistar's in the jungle. Lee Sin can't see where he's going, literally. And Swain is in a pretty bad spot. They're descending from every direction. Ali with a very nice headbutt, sending him the direction he did not want to go at all. And Buwberry with a lot of sustain gets ulted right there, but not quite enough to save him. Spawnlegacy getting grabbed out by BuddhaRice. Nice grab by him. And Nock with another kill finally gets shut down by Zyra. But Totalment's taking a lot of damage here as well. He's going to escape, however, and now Lulu has to defend against a tank and a DPS. Nock, however, has hit that revive and is on his way back up to the top as fast as he can.
And Lulu does still have her Garrison, and there it is right there.
Good use of the Garrison right there. Seeing those creeps on there really helped out a lot in that delay. BuddhaRice really doesn't have any mana. He does have enough for an Arcane Shift to break the tether for the Fear, and Armor's going to back off a little bit. You see him turn around, hitting those minions.
Is he?
Getting that little bit extra, but he's going to back off as well, waiting to meet up with his team before the next move.
There we go. Lee Sin going straight for Lulu, but looks like he's just going to back out of the fight.
Spawnlegacy taking some damage. Panzerzs giving chase right there, getting snared, however. Armor taking some hits up at the top, but it manages to find time to punch Buwberry back away. Armor's making a run for it. Buwberry wants him, and he is going to get him. Spawnlegacy hanging out on the tower. Doesn't want to step out into that, but that fight is going to come to him very shortly here. And there is a grab, gets that. BuddhaRice trying to clear off some minions with that True Shot Barrage though, but that 4-man dive, Ezreal just does not have the fortitude to be able to survive that. Dienovv coming up from the bottom, throwing down AoE, trying to get some interruption there, and Pays Evelynn Child Support is going to get a 4-cap now in this engagement. Things looking more and more grim as the game goes on for Field of Vibe.
And they did get a quest point from that cap right there.
Any plays that they make while they have that windmill buff are going to be a little bit sharper than normal. We see most of those Glacial Shrouds turned into Frozen Hearts at this point, as people start grouping up in the center of the map, Field of Vibe. Totalment just sticking his face out there on his own. He's going to go ahead up for the top, gets a hit in on Buwberry, initiates in onto him. Buwberry diving back to the tower, but was caught alone, took a lot of damage there. However, Painkillar seems to have Spawnlegacy's number as he chases him, and Armor's just living, and living, but is it going to be enough? He does have the ult, you know, but it had worn off, you know, just a moment after I realized it was up. Dienovv is hanging around up at the top, gets a nice Petrify on Painkillar though, but is going to get the Cassiopeia sandwich. And Armor's sticking his head out. He's going to get slowed there. Painkillar's going to go for, oh wow! Ali goes right in for Painkillar. Did not want him to get that grab.
The poison left over from the Cassiopeia bring him down just enough.
Very good play.
And look, Looks like they swapped Ezreal down bottom, and he does die to Urgot. Lee Sin going up to cover the bottom point.
And they're gonna have to get this windmill pretty soon here, otherwise things are gonna not go so well. With both teams up at the top, a lot of minions around right now. Dienovv up there trying to throw some damage down, but Swain does land the snare. He gets him kicked out of the way though. Lulu throws her ult.
There's the ultimate.
Armor's gonna go down, and now Spawnlegacy, it's just Dienovv left, but Dienovv gets exhausted. Swain's gonna land that snare, and I think that's gonna spell game over for Field of Vibe.
We did see that Lulu ultimate there soaking up just a bit of that extra damage. Oh, and there's a Nocturne ult going right to Lee Sin. Lee Sin is able to go ahead and take out Nocturne though.
Unfortunately, Totalment is going to... Oh,
Ezreal gonna get this snipe?
Lee Sin did not see that, thankfully, so he's not going to be as freaked out as we were when that happened. BuddhaRice down at the bottom, poking some shots at konfetarius, but it's not going to matter. There's not enough time to cap. Buddha is going to survive by the clock stopping. Pays Evelynn child support, advances to the finals, and Field of Vibe is going to have to play for third or fourth place in the consolation matches.